1, 2, 3. All right, we're going to look at homework review from the other day. This is talking about factoring trinomials. This is something we've been working on before break, and we've just continued just to get ourselves going. I know it's been a slow process, but we're definitely getting there. All right. Key idea sheets, easy to review, great to go over. Factoring a trinomial in the x squared plus bx plus c form, where the number in front of x squared is a 1. You need to figure out the product of c and the sum of b. I've shown you in a few different ways, and I think that you're all starting to get it looking at the work. I'm just going to go over briefly a few of the homework questions. So, number 3, I asked you to identify the two integers given the product and the sum. Let's take a look. Make sure it's all in focus. So, product of 45, sum of 14. Well, let's look at our factors of 45. As you get more efficient at it, you don't need to list them all. Well, 1 and 45, 3 and 15, 5 and 9. Which ones add up to 14? 5 and 9. We could also have looked at the factors that are both negative numbers. In this case, we know it's not the case because our sum is a positive number. Number B, 3b. Product of 6, sum of minus 5. All right. In this case, I have a positive number and a negative answer. So that means I'm going to be looking for something that has two negatives, because a negative times a negative is a positive. But let's look at all the factors, positives and negatives. It could be 1 and 6, 2 and 3, negative 1, negative 6, negative 2, negative 3, giving us sums of 7, 5, minus 7, minus 5. Well, we wanted one with a sum of minus 5, negative 2, and negative 3. Product of minus 10. Okay, to get a negative product, you have to multiply two different signs. So it can be minus 1 and 10, minus 2 and 5, 1 and minus 10, or 2 and minus 5. As you get more familiar, you're going to see that, oh, I have a sum of 3, positive. A positive sum is what's going to tell me that I'm going to have a larger number than positive. So I'm only going to look at the ones with positive big numbers. The bigger factor is going to be positive. Negative 2 plus 5, positive 3. I don't know why I wrote this. This is completely wrong. Ignore that. Negative 2 and 5. We all make mistakes. Okay. Product minus 20, minus 8. We have alternating signs. A minus 8 is going to tell us that the larger number has to be negative. So I'm only going to look at factors with the negative as the larger factor. So 1 and minus 20 adds to minus 19. 2 and minus 10 adds to minus 8. 4 and minus 5 adds to minus 1. We wanted one with a sum of minus 8. 2 and minus 10. I hope those are making sense. We're going to do the next page. I didn't worry about numbers 4 and 5 on this sheet. You can go through, you can practice them. 4 would be excellent practice, especially nice tricky ones like 4F. 5 gets down to be pretty similar if you can factor it. F is tricky, but it's doable with the knowledge that you currently have. Think about how you can factor out that 2 from everything else. Okay, so the next page in the assignment was this one. I asked you to do numbers 3, 4, and 5. I wrote at the top, I circled it. So 3, A through F, they're looking for products and sums. Let's take a look at this. I don't need that one. And I will scan these in, I will post them later. Sorry for my sniffles, it's just my evening sneezes. I don't have COVID-19. Okay, product of 12. 2 and 6, and a sum of 8. I'm going to think about my products of 12. I'm not going to list them all this time. I'm just going to think in my mind, list them if you need to. It's critical to do that. You get to see it in repetitive, and you're going to get more familiar with it. And this is just working on the foundational skills of multiplication, which if you don't use them, you forget them. I'm not going to lie. I sometimes forget my multiplication tables. Portions of them, not the whole thing. All right. Products of 12. 2 and 6, because they add to 8. Product of 15, sum of minus 3. In this case, I think about it, I'm like, I'm not seeing an obvious one. I'm going to work my way through. 1 and 15, 3 and 5, minus 1, minus 15, minus 3, minus 5. All right, let's check those sums. 16, 8, minus 16, minus 8. None of them sum to minus 3. There's no possible whole number factor that we can get here, whole integer factor. C, minus 4 and a sum of minus 3. Let's write that a little better. Okay, minus tells us they're going to have opposite signs, a positive and a negative, and the 4 is going to have to, and the larger one's going to have positive. All right, so factors of 4, first of all, 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. I know that 1 plus a minus 4 is going to give me minus 3. Set up that chart that we did in the last question if you need to. Just do it and practice it. 24 minus 3 minus 8, add up to minus 11. Minus times a minus is a positive. 42, negative 42, and a sum of 19. I worked my way through. I couldn't find any. 1 and 42, 2 and 21. Wait, did I miss one? I may have. Well, minus 2 plus 21 is 19. So I am actually again wrong here. Minus 2 and 21. Mistakes. So, yeah. 12 and minus 10. Product factors of 12, 1 and 12, 2 and 6. So 1 and 12 adds to 13. 2 and 6 adds to 8. 3 and 4 adds to 7. None. Okay, question 4. I'm really hoping you can see these. Maybe a little brighter. Just going to keep it focused. Okay. So we're using that product and sum rule. We're going to find the factors of 12 that sum to 8. Y plus 2 times y plus 6. You should go through and do the checks to make sure. I'm not going to work through it here. I want to save time so you're not overwhelmed. X squared plus 10x plus 21. X plus 3 times x plus 7. A squared minus 19a plus 90. A minus. I had to think about this one a little bit just to make sure, and I came up with the factors of 9 and 10. A minus 9 times a minus 10. I couldn't come up with a one for this. Next one, a little tricky. We have two different letters. We have letters M and we have letters N. So, what I like to do is I like to then break up my letters. Well, I know I'm going to have first terms are going to be M's, just like X's. Second terms, what do I get to get N squared? N times N. Okay. Factors of 42 that sum to 1. This is a minus sign. I'm going to have alternating signs here, opposite signs. So this is a minus here, so 6 and minus 7. Go through, check that, confirm that you get the M squared minus MN minus 42N. Sorry, my chair is squeaky tonight. F, B squared plus 19B plus 34. Factors of 34. 1, 34, 2, 17. I stopped there because I saw 2 plus 17 is 19. B squared plus 19b plus 34 factors to b plus 2, b plus 7. Number 5. I'm trusting you could see all those. I really hope so. And I know my face is not visible if I decide to post this video, which I do not think I will be using my face recording. I'm getting a horrible glare. Same process. G minus 4, G times G minus 6. N minus 2 times N minus 13. C minus 7 times C minus 8. This time again, S and T. S minus 2T, S minus 5T. I couldn't factor number 5e. F, 3v squared plus v minus 2. This one is tricky. This is not in our curriculum for what we need to learn, but it's something I wanted to make sure I showed you. So you have to consider the factors of both numbers, the 3 and the 2. And you have to see how they interact with each other. In this case, it's easy. There's only 3 and 1 and 2 and 1. So think about your FOIL method. Think about your distribution rules and how they go through. In this case, I said, hey, 3v minus 2 times v plus 1 is going to give me this. Let's work through that check right now. I'm going to check it with FOIL. 3v times v, 3v squared. 3v times 1 plus 3v. Minus 2 times v minus 2v minus 2 times positive 1 minus 2. Simplify 3v squared plus 3v minus 2v gives me a v minus 2. It checks. My answer was right. I went ahead and I worked through 6 just so we could have it, just so we could see it, where we have tricky ones. So same things. I'm going to look at the factors that I want. I'm going to post these just so you can see them, but I'm not going to work through them because it's not in the curriculum. I don't want to spend extra time going through that. So I'm going to stop this here and I'm going to move on. I'm going to do some notes.